Welcome back. Today we are going to show you experiments on physical changes. Our mastermind for today is Paulson Frank, who's incredibly knowledgeable and a young scientist in the making.
Hi, I am Watson here and I am going to share some examples of physical change. So for the first experiment, we have the process of dissolving. So here is a cup of water and a bowl of salt. So let's add some salt in the bowl of water. In the beginning, we saw that there was some salt left over, but after this stirring it completely, we can see that the salt has been completely dissolved. When a solid and a liquid mix together completely, a uniform layer is formed. Such mixture is known as a solution. Solution is of two things. The substance which gets dissolved is known as a solute, and the liquid which helps it to dissolve is known as a solvent. Water is also known as a universal solvent because it dissolves many things in it. Dissolving is a physical change even though new substance is formed. Why is it so? Dissolving is a reversible change. During this reaction, neither heat is given out nor taken in. We can reverse the salt by the process of crystallization. Now, I am going to show you the process of crystallization. So, for this experiment, we need a glass of hot water, a bowl of salt, a stick or a ruler, a spoon for stirring, a string or a thread. So, let's add 4 to 5 tablespoons of salt into the water. Mix it until you get a supersaturated solution. So what is a saturated solution? A saturated solution is the one in which no more of the solute dissolves. So as I told you in the previous experiment that about solute and solvent. So when the solute, which is salt, is added in the solvent, that is water, gets dissolved, is called a solution. But when we add the excess of salt into the solvent, then it is called a saturated solution. After mixing all the salt, take a ruler, tie a thread around it, and at the end of the thread, you can tie a stone, a coin, or even a marble. So after that, insert the thread which we have tied under the coin and insert it into the fresh prepared solution. After mixing all the salt, take a piece of paper or a cloth, cover it and leave it aside for a few days. After a few days, we see that the crystals have grown. They just grow bigger and bigger every day. Truly amazing, isn't it? Never thought that salts can grow. Just joking. So friends, what is crystallization? Crystallization can be defined as the process where atoms or molecules of a substance form a pure and well-defined crystals. We must also remember that like crystallization, like evaporation is a physical change because it is a reversible change and no new substance is formed. So, is there any differences between crystallization and evaporation? Yes, they are changes. So, they are as follows. Evaporation occurs only on the surface of liquid and is considered as a natural process, whereas crystallization is not a natural process. In this entire process, liquid is heated and then liquid cools down naturally. In the process of evaporation, the crystals formed are not well defined and pure, whereas crystallization formed, the crystals are pure and well defined. Evaporation is affected by surface area and motion of air, whereas crystallization is not affected by surface area and motion of air. Now, let's move on to our next topic under physical change, that is boiling. I think I will not be showing this experiment because you know what is boiling. We boil tea, we boil water every day, we boil soups and so on. Okay, so I think that I will not be showing this experiment because it is so simple and you seem to know about what is boiling. So, let me ask you a question. What is boiling? What happened? Not that simple. Yes, you required to pay attention. Here I have a few things which are needed for the experiment. There are a gas stove and a vessel of water. Turn on the gas stove and place the vessel on top. Pour some water in the vessel and allow it to boil. The liquid starts to form more and more bubbles like this, then we say that the water is boiling. When the liquid cools down and if it was covered by a lid as we can see here, then we see that water droplets are formed or the vapor changes into liquid. This process is known as condensation. Condensation is also a reversible change and a desirable change. It is an exothermic process because heat is given out. Further fall in temperature results the liquid to freeze. This process is freezing or solidification. You can check out the previous experiments for better example of physical change, and that is sublimation.
Before starting with the experiment, let us prepare a few things first. Take a used Bisleri bottle and cut it into two halves very carefully. To cut it evenly, you can use a crafting blade or a hot knife, which is not used much in the kitchen. Now add a half cup of flour and make a ring. This ring will be used to seal the tiny gaps between the plate and the bottle. Now, let me set up my experiment. Take a very hot tawa and put the steel plate on top. Then place 3 to 4 naphthalene balls onto the plate and cover these balls with the half cut Bisleri bottle. Seal the Bisleri bottle with the help of dog and close its mouth with its lid. Keep this setup in a very hot place or under the sun for 2 to 3 hours and observe what happens. The naphthalene balls have disappeared, and instead we see white shiny powder all over the bottle.
Where are the naphthalene balls? Where did they go? There are some substances that sublime on heating, and naphthalene is one of them. Sublimation is the process where a solid changes into gaseous state while heating and turn back into solid while cooling. There are some solids which turn into with sublime on heating like naphthalene, camphor, dry ice, ammonium chloride, etc. Hope you liked and enjoyed my very simple experiments on physical change. Please don't forget to share and subscribe to our channel, and don't go anywhere. We have more interesting videos for you. Till then, stay safe and happy learning.